All right. So there we go. We are already seeing from the Void Prisoners a big ban on Illidan. If you were watching Heroes of the Dorm, what you basically saw was ban Illidan or ban Falstad. Those are kind of your two choices. We're going to see Zool getting banned out by Big Dumb Animals. He is a good pusher, so it's not a crazy choice here. And there we go. Void Prisoners picked up the Falstad since they didn't ban out Falstad. But I'd say this is often in the position for the first pick benefit. So this is a great choice from Big Dumb Animals to immediately pick up Lei Ming, great hero, and Rhaegar. So they've taken two very strong picks away from Void Prisoners. But now they're immediately coming out swinging again, Void Prisoners with Thrall and Tassadar. There's absolutely no second guesses about what they want and who they want. So that still leaves tanks that both teams need. If Big Dumb Animals wanted to, they could ban out a tank, and that's exactly what they did. Banned out an ETC because then they can pick up who they believe is the better tank, get rid of the second tank in the game that they think is second best. So it looks like Void Prisoners are now thinking about what do they want to do here. They could theoretically, if they believe they have kind of like a pocket tank pick that isn't very meta, they could go for it. Do something like Ban and Muradin to pick up a Tyrael. And right now they have a Thrall who can counter a Zog push and counter her laning. And they have Falstad who can pretty much go wherever he needs to go. Essentially, Falstad is Visa. He's everywhere you want to be. So we're going to see the Sonya pick ban. And so Big Dumb Animals immediately doing what I was saying of picking up the tank they feel is superior, putting Void Prisoners in a position of picking up potentially an inferior tank. But Void Prisoners may have obviously realized the situation and don't believe they have an inferior pick coming up. So there's multiple choices here. They still need someone to go against Thrall. I'm assuming they didn't want to see Sonya up against Thrall. So there's still Zag on the table. This would be interesting if Void Prisoners pick up Zag and basically take away the best laners from Big Dumb Animals. And they'll have a lot of map control just from how aggressively they'll be able to push those lanes. And so they're picking up Johanna. Just like I said, they probably believe Johanna is not an inferior tank. In fact, they might prefer Johanna over Muradin or ETC. I mean, right now it's very solid lineups for both teams. It's possible that Tassadar could be a solo support here. You don't see it too often, but you do see it. The combination of Lei Ming and Greymane, though, is a very, very killer combination. Greymane can basically help get the resets for Li Ming, and vice versa. Li Ming can blast someone down, go for the throat, and then get a reset, go for the throat kill. An immediate pickup from for Big Dumb Animals with Sylvanas, and so we're actually going to see two hybrid supports. Tyrande and Tassadar. This will be very interesting. They'll be able to melt someone like a Muradin pretty quickly with the combination of Thrall, Falstad, Hunter's Mark. So I like both teams here. I do feel like there is a bit of an edge on Void Prisoners because the initiation from Thrall into a Blessed Shield can lock down a Lei Ming, and with the damage that they're going to pump out, blow her up before Ancestral Healing drops on her. But there is a lot of damage that will come out from the big dumb animals. They have Lei Ming, Greymane, and Sylvanas. Okay, I guess both teams are ready to go. Additionally, with the Falstad pickup here, I can very easily see this game just being won just by having better rotations, more mobility in comparison to big dumb animals who will rely on actually just dishing out so much damage to a Thrall and Falstad to just push them out of lanes in the meantime. So for Void Prisoners, we're going to have Crypsia on Falstad, Penguin on Tassadar, Thumbtacks on Thrall, Tacos Fuegos on Johanna, and Kiseki on Tyrande. And on Big Dumb Animals, we will have Tree Fitty on Rhaegar, El Tigre 9 on Sylvanas, Modern Guilt on Greymane, Mac Esquire on Muradin, and Crindy on Lei Ming. So normally what we will see is 5-man all mid for the Bush Party.
Heroes, prepare for combat.
And something I wanted to point out, the Big Dumb Animals have more animals. Crindy looks like Rob during all that. So we just need to wait for Crindy to rejoin. So they got Rhaegar and Greymane, two animals on their team. Fortunately, they couldn't get a full animal team going Big Dumb Animals. So in the meanwhile, we can actually pull up the talents that people have started to choose. We got Mage Stat coming out, Gathering Storm, Conjurer's Pursuit, Empower, Knight Takes Pawn. So this will give Tyrande a lot more heals and a lot more potential stuns. And so for Rhaegar, we're going to see the Colossal Totem, Power Hungry, coming out of Li Ming, and Overflowing Quiver, Perfect Aim, and finally Reverb. So there we go. He's alive again. So, and we're not actually going to see anyone.
10 seconds.
We're not going to see that Bush Party coming out. We're going to actually see the immediate rotations out of Big Dumb Animals. So they're going to have Sylvanas actually bottom and Greymane top. I'd probably actually reverse that and have Greymane bot because he's able to contribute a little bit more damage. Nonetheless, it'll still probably work out okay for Big Dumb Animals. Tacos Fuegos, in the meantime, was actually taking quite a bit of damage there, but he does have Tyrande to support him, and they are in a little bit of advantage. But El Tigre, in the meantime, has been pushing that lane pretty much free. But coming up from behind is Thumbtacks, and El Tigre is going to pay the price with the first dirt nap of the game.
The ancient shrines awaken. Control them.
So already we're going to start seeing a little bit of a lead coming out from Void Prisoners. Nothing much, but just enough to give them the potential edge for the next shrine fight, or the first shrine fight, which comes up in 5 seconds. If they can hit 4, that'll give them that little extra edge to potentially get an early DK. Unfortunately, though, Modern Guild gave up the wave of XP there, the extra creeps that he could have easily gotten. Probably not worth it. In the meantime, though, Sylvanas is getting taken down again from the combo of Thumbtacks and Cripsy. So at this point, they're just pretty much farming mid, farming top, and farming bot. And Modern Guild, however, is going to pay the price with his life as he goes out and tries to duel with Tassadar. So Big Dumb Animals need to start paying a little bit more attention on what's going on and play a little safer. They've already lost a full-on level. And Thumbtacks, though, is going to take the first dirt nap for the Void Prisoners. However, in the meantime, Kiseki is just knocking down that tower and is going to continue to give them an early XP lead. They're already a full level ahead. Tassadar is just soloing that top lane, soaking for free. In bottom lane, Cripsy is soaking for free as well. And they're playing a 5-man chase the DK game. This is absolutely not what you want to do, guys. Do not 5-man chase a DK that's under 3 minutes into the game. You want to maintain soak across all 3 lanes, 2 lanes in certain maps. And here, obviously, you want 3 sitting on the DK, taking it down, 1 top and 1 bottom. Of course, like that'll change depending on where the DK goes. Normally, most people early game will go straight for that mid. And so there's already a level and a half lead now at this point. The extra towers they've taken down, the lack of body soak across all the lanes. We got Thrall and Falstad just hammering away at the bottom lane now. Modern Guild is actually coming in from behind. That was a little bit dangerous, that maneuver, just because of the fact that really Cripsy and Thumbtacks could have turned on him. But this is going to be really bad for Tree Fitty right now. Tree Fitty trying to get out of there, but Thumbtacks with the nice body blocks getting some extra damage on him, and the Chain Lightning is taking him down. This is quickly spiraling out of control. I'm expecting a rotation bottom But Thumbtacks doesn't have anyone else to come and support him at this point. It is just a 2v2. But we got Torrenda coming on down now, and we might get a stun? No. No stun coming out from Kaseki, which is perfectly fine. They have enough of a level lead. They can continue pushing and just saving up that mana. Sorry, Rolf. There we go. El Tigre getting pretty low there, and Penguin, once again, is getting free soak top. This is definitely not what they want to be seeing, big dumb animals. They need to get soak across all these lanes to remain in the game. Johanna is just super ballsy. I mean, she has nothing to fear from Muradin and Rhaegar. What are they going to do? In the meantime, Void Prisoners pick up another kill against big dumb animals. What they honestly need is to have El Tigre can stay top, Greymane needs to stay mid, and the rest of them rotate, and Greymane rotate with them. Or do the traditional 4-man clear mid, 4-man push together, which would work much, much better for them. Because they don't have enough damage without the Greymane to do anything, or without the Sylvanas. And because they don't have enough damage to do anything of value without the Greymane, you want to clear the wave, clear the wave, clear the wave, clear the wave. You just keep doing that over and over and over. Muradin coming in to stop this DK. It is just a 2v2 at this point. But Sylvanas is going to be going down from that flight on top by Cripsy. A nice choice there. I mean, they just continue to take advantage of that Falstad, which I mentioned that I expect them to win just based off the extra mobility here. It doesn't even matter if Void Prisoners outplays and Tree Video, though, sitting and taking a whole lot of damage. He'll just run away perfectly safe and fine, but ate a whole lot of free damage. So they'll just keep exploiting the fact that they have more mobility to go and kill someone. We got Greymane coming in onto Thumbtacks. Very, very bad choice. He did not have Crindy with him to actually support him. And Thumbtacks doing the ballsy Sunder to get a free, easy kill. Now, Crindy, though, is unfortunately going to be paying the price, too. And got two members of Big Dumb Animals down for the count. So looking over some of the talents we got, Gathering Storm, Power Throw, Boomerang, Mighty Gust. And we got Conjurer's Pursuit, Leeching Plasma, Force, Kala's Embrace, Force Wall. Lightning build with Follow Through, along with Sundering. A full-on Owl build, Battle Momentum, and Shadow Stalk. So nothing out of the ordinary. But in the meantime, that 4v4 went handedly to Void Prisoners. This is completely out of control right now for Big Dumb Animals. They're not even at 10 yet. They're about to be out 2 talents behind. And this is a very, very dangerous move. I don't know why they would actually do this. We're seeing the Shadow Stalk come on in, and Crindy is getting obliterated. Absolutely no hope for him. Tree Fitty and Modern Guild just running for their lives at this point. The Colossal Totem actually doing a whole lot of work to save him here. Both Thumbtacks and Atako are really low on mana, so they won't be able to really do much extra. However, in the meantime, Sylvanas is going down again. That's 12 kills to 1 and another DK for Void Prisoners. So we finally hit 10 for Big Dumb Animals, and this might be their only hope. And now that they actually have their heroics, we got Ancestral Healing, Disintegrate, Mind Control, Go for the Throat, and Avatar. Oh, we're so much damage coming out onto Mac Esquire, and that Ancestral came out very late. The damage coming out onto Mac was overall slow. Plenty of time to drop an Ancestral, but no Ancestral was seen, unfortunately, for Big Dumb Animals. And at this point, it's definitely panic mode for Big Dumb Animals. They're just trying to figure out how can they actually stay in this game. What they need to do is focus on keeping their bodies in every lane. Thrall is free pushing right now, and there's going to now be extra pressure against them with the Siege Giants as they push bottom, which will then give top lane to Void Prisoners. We're now going to see a collapse come on in from Void Prisoners. A nice gust to zone out Crindy, and she's absolutely gone. Nothing they can do, and Matt Esquire is all alone on his own. The Blessed Shield being dropped, and the Sunder, and down goes the Beard. Now we got Tree Fitty, who's going to be joining behind him very shortly after. Unfortunately, the communication and the map awareness isn't on the same level as Void Prisoners. El Tigre now, for instance, is alone 2v1. There's very little that El Tigre can do. The only blessing there was that Cripsy didn't want to continue chasing, didn't think they had it, and El Tigre got to run away that time. Looking at 13, Crippling Hammer, which is interesting. You don't see that too often, but Modern Guild is now all alone. It's a 3v1 with Cripsy coming in to help secure that kill. We got Prescient, Spell Shield, Overflowing Light, and Burning Rage. I don't know if there's anything they can really do to stop this train at this point. Thumbtack's doing some very nice body blocking here. I don't know if we'll see anything else at this point, though. It was a nice try. A couple more seconds, and that Sunder would have dropped and completely torn them apart, giving them another kill onto Tree Fitty and Mac Esquire. Crindy, though, getting caught out again. 13 versus 16 at this point, and we're probably going to see El Tigre eat a ton of damage and possibly drop here. A beautiful stun coming out from Kiseki, and that's it for El Tigre. Really, that was a do or die for El Tigre. El Tigre couldn't teleport away with Haunting Wave, because if he did, Kiseki was waiting for the very second he did to drop the stun. And Mac Esquire has absolutely no business being here. He actually missed the stun, and he's now in a 2v1. And with the team coming in and collapsing onto Big Dumb Animals, it's going to be lights out for them. A big stun coming out from Thrall with the Gust to ensure the kill. There's going to be another 2 members of Big Dumb Animals dropping here, and it's going to be another DK for the Void Prisoners. This should be a keep very easily at this point for Void Prisoners. There's absolutely nothing they can do with two members down for another 10 seconds and just free pushing against these towers. They also have almost 4 levels at this point over Big Dumb Animals, which gives them both talent and level advantage. They're not going to be able to finish the game at this point, but they will certainly be able to get their first keep of the game. Mac Esquire having to run away. He's super low. Actually, Void Prisoners are going straight for the throat here. They want it. They know that they can finish this. They are not scared at all of the Big Dumb Animals. With the Gust coming up, there is nothing they can do. This is lights out for the Big Dumb Animals, and we have a 13-minute on the dot game. Beautifully played from Void Prisoners. There was almost nothing that can be deemed wrong that they did against Big Dumb Animals. Big Dumb Animals unfortunately made a lot of critical mistakes that game. You can just look at the XP across the teams. 4K, 4K, 7K, 5K, 4K. The lowest XP on the team for Void Prisoners basically was the top XP for Big Dumb Animals. That XP loss constantly hurt them. The map awareness was not on point for them. The map awareness is a combination of you yourself and your team helping you out. So either the team wasn't doing a good enough job calling out rotations, or the players on Big Dumb Animals weren't paying enough attention to actually realize those rotations were happening. Additionally, they were playing very aggressively. A lot of the times they were out. The players were way too far out there, and it just became a walk in the park for Void Prisoners to get easy ganks against Big Dumb Animals, especially with Falstad. You cannot play that aggressively against Falstad. If they see you basically solo laning against your towers, he just flies right behind you, especially with a level lead, and will win 1v1 in that scenario. And with the rest of the team rotating down anyways, it's the end of you. So a quick look at the talents before the end of that game. We had the Mage stack coming out, Crippling Hammer, Hammer Time, full normal build from Tassadar with Shields and Prescience plus Dimensional Warp. I just need to double check that all matches are actually best of ones. Just want to verify. I need to find Jova. Go. So in the meantime, finish going over. Yep. Okay. That was it. Master duties. And the Void Prisoners take that game. So we'll take a quick look through the rest of them. Spell Shield from Thrall perfectly makes sense against a Lei main and a Grey main, especially cocktail build. And then finally, we saw pretty much what you would expect. Tyranda's Owl build is very useful for interrupting a DK. They never needed to worry about interrupting it. And then finally, it also allows her to pump up a lot more healing. You can see like overflowing light. So all those owls means more heals, means the team stays alive, and more stuns. And because she picked up Ranger, it's more owls for more owls. So the Void Prisoners won that match. It was pretty handedly won by them. As you can see, 22 kills to 1 kill. And finally for Johanna, we have Night Takes Pawn, Laws of Hope, Conviction, Blessed Shield, Burning Rage, and Holy Renewal. So what's interesting here is the Conviction. At one point, I know it was pretty popular to see Conviction, especially in Korea, because Johanna at that point can catch a lot of people, and she can escape a lot better at the same time. So Holy Renewal, I'm not sure if it was really needed, especially because Johanna is so tanky. Every hero affected by Shield Glare heals you for 114. It's useful, but I like other things in place of Holy Renewal. And now for Big Dumb Animals. For Rhaegar, this looks like a pretty standardish build. Nothing out of the ordinary. What's slightly weird is the Earth Shield, especially after the nerf, and they only have one tank. So the value out of Earth Shield is definitely not nearly as high. Finally, we got Li Ming, Power Hungry, Dominance, Calamity, Disintegrate, and Illusionist. Nothing wrong with this build either. Unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot of value for the Illusionist teleport build. And it also didn't help that over and over again, almost everyone at some point in that game was caught out by, or was everyone on Big Dumb Animals was pretty much caught out at some point alone. Finally, for Sylvanas, we got Overflowing Quiver, Withering Barrage, Barb Shot, Mind Control, and Windrunner. Her changes have improved her, but I'm not sure what the best build is for Sylvanas. I don't think pretty much any of these builds would have ultimately changed the game. It was more the mechanics and the teamwork for Big Dumb Animals that cost them the game, not the builds. And for Greymane, we got pretty standard Q coming out. I take that back. He picked up the Thick Skin. Makes sense for the Thrall. Unfortunately, not so much for the Falstad. And then he picked up Running Wild. And that is definitely useful to engage and disengage a lot easier. And finally, we got Reverb, Thunderburn, Piercing Bolt, Avatar, and Thunderstrike. I'm not sure if Thunderstrike really got them value here. Mostly because there wasn't a target really diving into the backlines. So my personal choice would not have been to use a Thunderstrike and replacing it with something as simple as Burning Rage. Now, to be fair, they were playing from behind so far in this game that they really would have needed some like miracle team fight to have turned it around.